Okay, so in this video we're going to be looking at how to use and convert different units of length. But in order to do that, it's very important for us to be able to multiply and divide by 10, 100, or 1000. And so here I've got 9 different recap questions to help us practice. I'm going to go through question A and D with you so you can see what we need to do when we multiply a decimal by 10, 100, or 1000. Now, for question A, whenever we multiply a decimal by 10, 100, and 1000, we move the decimal point to the right. And because we are multiplying by 100, we move it to the right twice because there are 2 zeros. So when we move the decimal point to the right twice, 1, 2, we put the new decimal point there. So our final answer is 5774.56. Do not put the original decimal point there. You can never have 2 decimal points in a number. It does not make sense. So 57.74.56 does not make sense. Okay, there's only ever 1 decimal point. In question D, because we are dividing, we are going to move the decimal point to the left. Because we're dividing by 100 and 100 has 2 zeros, we will move the decimal point to the left twice. 1, 2, which means our final answer is 0.55447. And it's 0 because there's nothing here. Okay, so I'll get you to pause the video. Have a go with the rest of these questions. And when you're done, you can continue playing the video to check your answers. So question B, we're going to move the decimal point to the right 3 times. 1, 2, 3. In this empty spot here, we'll put a 0. So my final answer is 58870. You can write 0.0 because that's where the decimal is, but there's no need to do that. You can just leave it as a whole number. Question C. We are going to move the decimal point to the right once because it's 10. So our answer is 774.2046. Question E. We have 84.514498 divided by 10. So because it's divided, we're going to move it left once. So our answer is 8.4514498. For question F, we're going to move it left 3 times. 1, 2, 3. In each of these empty spots, we put zeros. So our final answer is 0.0018676. Okay. Question G. We're going to move it to the right once and then left 3 times. Right once, then left 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So our final answer is 0.581. Question H. Left 3 times, right once. 1, 2, 3. Right once, back here. So our final answer is 0.49119. And question I. Left once, then right 3 times. Left once, right 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So our final answer is 875.86. Okay, so it's very important that you know how to move decimals by multiplying and dividing by 10, 100, 1000, because now we're going to use that when converting units of length. So by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to convert units of length and solve word problems involving length. So let's have a look at this. First one, it's very important for you to remember, to memorize this, that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. That 1 meter is 100 centimeters, and that 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. So here we've got a diagram, a conversion graph that I want you to memorize. We start with the biggest unit on the left, kilometers, to meters, to centimeters, to millimeters. Okay, so biggest unit on the left, smallest unit on the right. And at the top, if we want to convert kilometers into meters, we need to multiply by 1,000. If we want to convert meters into centimeters, we need to multiply the number by 100. If we want to multiply centimeters, convert centimeters into millimeters, we need to multiply the number by 10. Okay, and if you want to do the opposite, it's divide. So let's have a look at some examples. Here I want to convert the following lengths from 403.786 meters into kilometers. Meters into kilometers. That means I need to follow this arrow. This arrow tells me that I need to divide by 1,000. So if I were to take my 403.786 and divide that by 1,000, all I'm going to do is move the decimal to the left 3 times. 1, 2, 3. That means my answer is 0.403786 kilometers. For question B, we have 6,796.0342 millimeters, which we want to convert into centimeters. Millimeters into centimeters. So follow the arrow. It's telling us that we need to divide the number by 10. So when we divide a number by 10, technically we're just moving the decimal to the left once. Left once. So our answer is 679.60342. Okay, I'm going to do one more question with you, and then I want you to have a go with the rest of these yourselves. So in question C, we want to convert 74.3001 kilometers into centimeters. Kilometers into centimeters. So follow the arrow. In order to convert kilometers into centimeters, first we need to convert it into meters by timesing by 1,000. And then we need to convert it into centimeters by timesing by 100. So that means we've got our 74.3001, and we're going to times by 1,000 to turn it into meters, and then times it by 100 again to turn it into centimeters, which means we're going to move the decimal point to the right 3 times, and then to the right again another 2 times, which means we're going to move it to the right 5 times in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means there's going to be an extra 0 there. So our final answer is 7430010 centimeters, or 7,430,010 centimeters. Okay. Pause the video, have a go with question D, E, and F yourselves, and when you're ready to check your answers, continue with the video. Okay, so in question D, we're going to convert meters into millimeters. From meters into millimeters, we need to times by 110. So times by 110. We're going to move it to the right twice, and then one more time, so 3 times in total. 1, 2, 3. In these empty spots we have zeros, so 388,300 is our answer. Question E, from millimeters to kilometers. Millimeters to kilometers, we need to divide by all of them, by 10, 100, and 1,000. So divide by 10, 100, and 1000. Which means we need to move the decimal to the left once, 2 times, 3 times, 4, 5, 6 times in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Empty spots 0. So that is equivalent to 0.00981039 kilometers. And the last one is kilometers to millimeters, which means we need to multiply by 1000 to turn kilometers to meters, by 100 to turn meters into centimeters, and by 10 to turn centimeters into millimeters, which means we're going to move the decimal point to the right 3, 4, 5, 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our answer is 3769.8. Now, another helpful hint that I use to remember this is if I am converting from a small unit, from small to big, I pretend it's too big and therefore I need to divide. If I'm converting from big to small, for example, like kilometers to meters, so from a big unit to a smaller unit, I pretend, hey, it's too small, so I need to multiply. So that helps me memorize this conversion chart, whether I need to multiply or divide by 10, 100, or 1000. Okay, I'm going to go through one of these with you, and then I'll get you to pause the video and have a go yourselves. So question A, we have 5 centimeters plus 34 millimeters. The issue with this is that they're not the same units. We can only add it when they're in the same units. Now, because the answer tells us that it wants the answer in centimeters, I'm going to convert this 34 millimeters into centimeters. Okay, so from millimeters to centimeters, from small to big, it's too big, I need to divide. I'm going to divide by 10 because there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter, which means I'm going to move the decimal to the left once, 3.4. So technically I've got 5 centimeters plus 3.4 centimeters, which is 8.4 centimeters. Okay, so pause the video, have a go with the rest of these yourselves, and when you're ready you can continue. Okay, so question B, I want the answer in meters, so I'm going to convert that to meters, which is 0.35. So my answer is 8.35 meters. Question C, I want the answer in kilometers, so I'm going to change that one. From meters to kilometers, I need to divide by 1000. So move it to the left 3 times. 8.309. So 23 plus 8 is 31. So we've got 31.309. Also, I just realized that I haven't said this explicitly, but if you have a whole number like 8,309, the decimal is technically right here, okay, at the end. So if you have a whole number, the decimal point is at the end. Okay. Question D. We want the answer in millimeters, so I'm going to change this one to millimeters. From centimeters to millimeters. From big to small. It's too small, I need to multiply. Multiply by 10 because there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter. So technically this is 1030 millimeters. And we need to subtract 52. So 1030 minus 52. I have to borrow 8. 8 out of 9. 12 minus 5 is 7. So we got 978 millimeters. And question E. We want the answer in centimeters. Hey, both of them aren't in centimeters, so I'm going to convert them both into centimeters. So millimeters to centimeters. Small to big is too big, so I need to divide. So I'm going to divide by 10, because there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter. 420.3. Okay, move the decimal point to the left once. This one, from meters to centimeters, from big to small, it's too small, so I need to multiply. But I'm going to multiply by 100 because there are 100 centimeters in a meter, which means I'm going to move this decimal point to the right twice. 1, 2. So I've got 180, 180. So I've got 420.3 centimeters minus 180 centimeters gives us 240.3. Okay, so what I did here was I converted both of these units to centimeters, because you can only add or subtract when they're in the same units, because the answer I want states it, that it needs to be in centimeters. Okay, so now we know how to add and subtract. Let's have a look at some word problems involving length. So here we have an example. Steel chain costs $8.20 per meter. How much does it cost to buy a chain of the following lengths? Okay, so 1 meter is $8.20, but I want 1 kilometer. So if I want 1 kilometer, how many meters is that equal to? That's equal to 1,000 meters. So to go from this 1 to 1,000, technically I just need to multiply that 1 by 1,000. So all I'm going to do here is multiply that $8.20 by 1,000 as well, which means I'm going to move the decimal point to the right 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Followed with an extra 0. So it's going to cost $8,200 to buy 1 kilometer worth of steel chain. If I want to buy 80 centimeters worth, so 1 meter is $8.20, but I want 80 centimeters. So what I might do is I might just convert that 1 meter into 100 centimeters. So 100 centimeters is still $8.20, because it's exactly the same length. But I want 80 centimeters. So what I could do, which is called the Unitary Method, I can work out how much 1 centimeter costs, and then I can just times that by 80 to get 80 centimeters worth. So to go from 100 to 1, I need to divide that 100 by 100 to get 1. And then I can times that 1 by 80 to get 80. Which means on this side, I'm going to take that $8.20, I'm going to divide it by 100, and then I'm going to times it by 80. So if I divide it by 100, I move it to the left, the decimal to the left twice. 1, 2, which is 0. Actually, let's do it here. 0.082. Technically, you can write that 0, but we don't have to. And then we're going to times that by 80. So we have 0.082 times 80. Now another way of writing that is times it by 8 and then times it by 10. So let's times it by 8. 0.082 times 8. 16, 64, 65. 0.656. That's the times 8. Now we need to times it by 10 by moving the decimal to the right once. 6.56. $6.56. Alright, pause the video, have a go with question C yourselves. Okay, so 1 meter is equal to $8.20. Or 100 centimeters, or 1000 millimeters, because I times it by 100 and then 10, is $8.20 because they're exactly the same length. 1 meter is 1000 millimeters. So I can work out 1 millimeter by dividing by 1000. So I can divide this by 1000 by moving the decimal point to the left 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So 0.00820. And if I want 50 millimeters, I can now times that by 50. So 0.0082, we don't really need that last zero, times by 50 is the same as saying times 5 and then times by 10. So we times that by 5 and then we can move the decimal to the right once. 10, 41, then we can move the decimal point to the right once. So it will cost 0.410, which is the same as 0.41. So it's going to cost 41 cents for 50 millimeters of steel chain. Okay, last question. Mount Everest is moving with the Indo-Australian plate at a rate of about 10 centimeters per year. How many years will it take to move 5 kilometers? Okay, so to work this out, maybe it's best to work out how many centimeters there are in 5 kilometers. So 5 kilometers, we want to convert that to centimeters. So I'm going to times that by 1000 to turn that into meters, and times it by 100 to turn that into centimeters. So we're going to move the decimal point to the right 5 times. Or we can just add 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 500,000 centimeters. So if it moves at a rate of 10 centimeters per year, we can just do 500,000 and divide that by 10, or move the decimal point to the left once, which is equal to 50,000 years. Okay, so homework, which is due in 1 week time, is exercise 10B, question 4 to 11, on page 459 to 460. That's it for this video.